visually this thing looks much better than the normal version, just simply because those two blades, it's what the normal one was missing. It's just a pointy stick, whereas this just had a bit more detailing to it. It does have an extra 4% crit damage chance with another 1 times multiplier, taking it to 3, another crit based weapon, but it's a lower attack speed, lower puncture. Considering it's a rapier, you would think it would have had the same puncture, but it's lower, and for some reason has more slash and more impact. Maybe that's because of this double blade type setup that it has. Honestly, no idea on that. Does come with 2 Vs, just like the Piranha Prime did, and stance wise, well, you've pretty much got one choice there, haven't you? And even without formering it, you can put a pretty decent build on this because it comes with 2 Vs anyway. Body count, bloodrush, true steel, organ shatter, basic crit setup with the prime mod because, well, we don't talk about sacrificial mods anymore. And then berserker to counter the attack speed, but weirdly the crit chance only goes up to 38.4 using this, which is, and I've defended this many times because people say don't run true steel. Well, bloodrush does increase crit chance, but it increases the crit chance on top of true steel, so it's 38.4 plus 165%. I'll leave true steel in there because I had an empty mod slot anyway. Of course, that is just an example. I am putting another V on this, probably where organ shatter is. I've put a dash on it for the Riven, and I have gladiator rush on here. True steel would work just as well, but this raid crits without it, and I'm just kind of throwing this in there for those who have already gone to the comment section and said, ew, you shouldn't run true steel. Yeah, I haven't actually finished building this. It's just an example. You can put a decent build on this without having to form it. You can with most primes. And yes, it is a prime, so you have to get the handle from an Axii O3 relic, the blade from a Meso D2, and the blueprint from a Neo B5, but it is actually worth it because this thing, though there is no way around it, it is just another prime weapon. Considering this thing came with the Piranha Prime, yeah, the Piranha Prime was definitely the amazing thing from this Prime drop, but this was still a really decent Prime weapon. The only real saving feature for it is the fact that it had an extra 4% crit chance, and instead of having a 2.2 or a 2.4 times crit multiplier, it had a 3 times crit multiplier. It's the multiplier that saved this. Obviously with mods it goes up, I think mine went to 5.7. But that's nearly 6 times it's 5.7 times its normal damage. Yes, it lost a little bit of slash, a little bit of puncture, it gained some slash and it gained some impact. So it rounded the weapon off, slowing it down to kind of counter this, hence the 0.917 attack speed. But it made up for it with the crit chance and the crit multiplier. Visually it looks better, and I can't really explain it. It just kind of works better. It's got something to do with the way that Vulpine Mask works and guaranteed slash, and it's a puncture-based weapon that has guaranteed slash proc? That's gotta be wrong. But it actually isn't. It's something to do with it applies a slash proc on the first strike in combination with crit chance and other such. Hence, this thing being crit-based makes it a really good weapon because it has that initial slash proc. And then it has the crit chance to kind of continue countering that. Yes, it's higher on the puncture, which weirdly makes it good against armor, but it is still low on the impact and slash, which makes it less effective against shields and I think they call it flesh. But that's where this one balances itself out, because obviously it has a little bit more impact and a little bit more slash than the normal one. It is exactly what a Prime is supposed to be. It's the Prime, it's the normal version, but better. There is no other way of putting this. It is just a better version of the Destreza, which it wasn't that bad of a weapon if you're into those. It was the attack speed and the stance that I didn't really like about the Destreza when it first came out. The stance is still kind of all over the place, but with the slower attack speed does kind of make up for it, and it allows you to perform the combos much better. And with that added crit, the added impact, the added slash, meaning that initial slash procs more up, yeah, this thing is actually a really good melee weapon. Of course, you can put the, and I've been trying to remember what it's called, cunning aspect. It's a PvP stance for this thing. It's easy enough to get a hold of cunning aspect. You just have to hit minstrel level in the conclave syndicates. I can't remember the exact name for this one. I think it's literally just called the conclaves, whatever. But it is there, and it's not a lot to buy it either. But there is one major downside to this stance, which is of course one of the reasons I've never mentioned it before. Yeah, to be able to fit this thing, you have to go into loadout option, select mode, conclave, and equip these things through here. I don't even know if it will. There it is. And then it will appear. It is a PvP only stance. This is why you won't. I just kind of wish it was able to be used normally, so you have a choice between Vulpine Mask and Cunning Aspect, but you kind of don't. You're locked in, you have to use this one stance. More will probably come in time, but for now there's just the one stance, and the slower attack speed is the saving feature of this weapon with that stance. I've never liked it on the normal one because it was too quick and you can't get the combos in, and it just kind of darts off, and yeah. Much prefer the... I know it's a little bit slower, it's so small it's not even worth noting, but it's enough to slow down the stance and make this weapon way better than the normal version. The added crit, just icing on the cake really. But anyway, we'll leave this off here for now. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll catch yous next time.